There's often that little feeling, isn't there? That sort of pull towards adventure, maybe doing something just for yourself, leaving the routine behind.
Hmm.
And solo travel, well, it really seems to capture that feeling. It's got this mix of like excitement, freedom, but maybe also a bit of uncertainty.
Definitely. That can I actually do this
E-
vibe.
Exactly. So whether you're already a pro at traveling alone or maybe just, thinking about dipping your toe in the water,
Yeah.
this deep dive should have something for you.
Right. We looked into this great discussion on the EDP English Dialogue podcast YouTube channel. They cover loads of interesting topics.
Mhm.
And their chat about solo travel was, well, really insightful. So our plan today is basically to pull out the key stuff from that conversation.
That'd be
Give everyone a good sense of why people do it, the benefits, the challenges, and, how to approach it without getting totally swamped with information.
good plan. So let's jump right in. What's the biggest driver? Why choose to go it alone? What's that initial, appeal?
Well, a huge theme in the EDP discussion was this idea of radical freedom,
Mm-hmm.
autonomy.
Right.
Just imagine being able to completely change your plans your whole day, just like that, on a whim.
No committee meetings?
Exactly. You decide the schedule, you set the pace. If you find some amazing little cafe and want to spend the afternoon there, you just do it.
Yeah.
No need to check with anyone else. And that means, real spontaneity, see a flyer for something cool, just go. No compromises.
That total control, it sounds, well, pretty addictive, actually. No arguments about where to get dinner.
Huh. Yeah, that helps.
But it feels like it's deeper than just, logistics, right? There's something more personal going on.
Oh, absolutely. A major point was personal growth. Solo travel kind of forces you, in a good way, out of your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, you're the one figuring out the metro system or trying to order food in sign language.
Yeah, been there.
And those little successes, they really build up your confidence, your belief in yourself. It's like a fast track to discovering what you're capable of.
So you learn to trust yourself more.
Totally. You learn to rely on your own judgment, adapt when things inevitably go sideways, because let's face it, they sometimes do.
Yeah. Flexibility becomes key.
Right.
So, okay, that's the why. What about the what? What are the actual upsides when you're out there doing it? What makes it feel so special?
Well, one big thing that came up was cultural immersion, getting a deeper feel for the place.
Oh, so?
When you're not with companions, you don't have that familiar bubble around you. You're sort of more open.
Ah, I see. More approachable, maybe?
Exactly. Locals might be more likely to chat. You might be more inclined to
Mhm.
try joining in with things. You experience the destination more directly, less filtered.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
You're not just observing from inside your little travel group.
precisely. And connected to that freedom we mentioned, there's the sheer flexibility.
Right, the spontaneity again.
Yeah. If you fall in love with the city, you can just stay longer.
Yeah.
If that museum everyone recommended just isn't your thing, you can skip it. No guilt.
That control over your own time, that's a luxury, isn't it?
It really is. And speaking of feeling good, the mental well-being aspect came up too.
Oh, interesting.
Solo
Yeah.
travel gives you this dedicated break. Real space away from, the daily grind, the emails, the demands.
Proper reset.
Totally. Time to just relax, reflect, recharge the batteries. And actually, stepping out of your normal routine can sometimes spark creativity. Or you find yourself solving little problems in new ways.
Okay, now here's something that seems a bit contradictory. The idea that being alone might actually lead to more social interaction. How does that work?
Yeah, it sounds odd, but the EDP folks pointed out that solo travelers often give off a different vibe, maybe more open, more approachable.
Like you're not interrupting a private conversation.
Kind of like that, yeah. So other travelers or locals might feel it's easier to strike up a chat in a hostel common room, on a tour, waiting for a bus. And those random little encounters can sometimes turn into, really great conversations, even friendships. Those unexpected connections are often the most memorable parts of a trip.
Yeah, those serendipitous moments. Okay, this all sounds amazing,
Yeah.
but let's be real. It can't all be perfect.
Hmm.
What are the downsides? The hurdles people face?
Right, got to be balanced. Loneliness is definitely up there, that feeling of isolation.
Especially on longer trips, I imagine.
Exactly. You might just miss having someone to share a joke with or, just that easy companionship.
Yeah.
And safety concerns are obviously a big one. You are potentially more vulnerable on your own to scams or just feeling unsafe in certain situations. That's a reality.
Mm-hmm. And what else?
Just the potential overwhelm, particularly if it's your first time. Suddenly, you're responsible for everything. Booking trains, finding your way, dealing with a misconnection, it can feel like a lot.
Okay, so there are real challenges. How do you deal with
Oh,
them?
yeah. Well,
What kind of strategies did the EDP discussion suggest to, make it work?
yeah, lots of practical stuff. For the loneliness piece, the key is being proactive about social interaction if you feel you need it.
Like how?
Choosing places to stay that have social spaces, like hostels, or deliberately joining group tours or classes, things where you're naturally around other people.
Right, build it into your plan.
Exactly. For safety, research is crucial. Know the local customs, know potential areas to avoid, be aware of common scams, and just generally staying alert, trusting your gut.
Makes sense. And the overwhelm.
Technology is your friend. There are so many travel apps now for booking, maps, translations, everything. They can really help manage the logistics.
So basically, preparation helps smooth things out.
Definitely. Preparation is key. Learning even just a few basic local phrases goes a long way.
There's respect, too.
Totally. Having a rough itinerary, even if it's flexible, can ease anxiety. Making sure your documents are safe and backed up, that's non-negotiable.
Mhm.
And consciously finding that balance between enjoying your own company and seeking out interaction when you want it. It's okay to want both.
And what about just taking care of yourself? It must be easy to get run down.
Oh, vital. Self-care is so important. Getting enough sleep resists the urge to do absolutely everything. Eating reasonably well, taking breaks when you feel tired. Burnout is real, even on holiday.
Good point. Need to pace yourself.
For sure. And finally, embracing that flexibility we talked about earlier. Things will go wrong or change unexpectedly. Try to see those moments not as disasters, but as detours, potential adventures.
Yeah, sometimes the best stories come from the things that didn't go to plan.
Exactly. Those often become the most memorable bits.
Okay, so let's picture someone listening now. Maybe they're feeling inspired, thinking, okay, maybe I could try this. What specific tips are there for that first timer?
Yeah, great question. The EDP chat had some really good advice here. Number one, start small.
Like, don't book a 6-month trek through the Amazon first time out.
Probably not, no. Maybe a weekend trip to a city nearby. Or pick a country known for being easy and safe for travelers.
Right. Build up the confidence gradually.
Precisely. Get a feel for it. Figure out your style. It's less daunting that way.
Okay, good first step. What else?
Stay connected. Tell people, friends, family your basic plan. Check in regularly.
For safety. Right.
Yeah, partly safety, so someone knows roughly where you are and notices if you go off-grid unexpectedly. But also, it reassures people back home, which means less worry for everyone. Peace of mind.
Good thinking. Practicalities on the ground.
Have a backup plan. Know the emergency numbers. Get travel insurance seriously. Don't skip this.
Absolutely.
And copies of everything. Important, passport, visa, tickets, digital copies, physical copies stored separately, just in case. It takes away a layer of stress if you know you have backups.
So lots of practical prep, but it's also a mindset thing, isn't it?
Totally. Embrace the experience. Really try to be present.
Not just glued to your phone documenting everything.
Exactly. It's tempting, but try to soak it all in directly. Enjoy the moment itself. The best memories aren't always the photos, you know?
True. What about pushing yourself a bit?
Yes. Gently nudge yourself out of that comfort zone. Try the weird-looking food. Attempt to chat with locals, even if it's just pointing and smiling. Go on that hike you're not sure about. Take that cooking class. That's where the real growth happens and where you get those amazing stories.
Those little moments of bravery.
Yeah, they add up, and they build that self-confidence we talked about.
Love it. Any other enriching tips?
Keep a journal. Seriously, write down your thoughts, feelings, what you did, funny things that happened.
Why is that so helpful?
It helps you process everything, reflect on the experience. And looking back later, it's amazing. You see how you felt, what you learned. It's like a personal record of your journey, inside and out.
It's a lovely idea. Capturing the internal journey, too. And finally, what about connecting with others, even while traveling solo?
Share your journey, not necessarily constantly on social media, but maybe a blog, or just telling people about it when you get back.
Why share?
Your story might just be the thing that inspires someone else to take the leap. It creates this ripple effect, encourages others who are maybe on the fence. It builds a community around the idea.
Okay, so if we boil all that down, the key takeaways for someone thinking about that first solo trip.
Right, drawing from that EDP discussion. Start small and safe. Stay connected with home. Plan the practical stuff, safety, backups. Be present. Embrace the moments. Step outside your comfort zone. Keep a journal.
Yeah, it's like a really solid foundation. Makes it seem much less intimidating and more empowering.
Absolutely. And, trust yourself, trust your instincts. You're more capable than you probably think. Remember, it's not just about seeing new places, it's about discovering yourself, too.
That's a great point. And for everyone listening, if you've got solo travel stories or tips of your own, we genuinely love to hear them. Share them with us on social media or drop us an email. Your experience could really help someone else out.
Yeah, definitely do. And maybe just one final thought to leave you with. Think about this. Sure, the places you'll see are incredible, but perhaps the biggest discovery on a solo trip isn't out there. Maybe it's finding out what you are truly capable of when you're the one calling all the shots. Something to mull over.